Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for jumping on to our team call. Today is September 20th. Yikes. The month is almost over. So, tonight we have a very special guest. We have Jake Fernandez. He is a
Correct.
diamond coach. He's been a coach since January 2014. Jake is not only a coach, but he is also attending, well, actually, he's pursuing a second degree in nursing. He has a bachelor's in psychology. And I have to say something about Jake, and I think that the ladies who have met him uh, would agree with me. He has the best positive energy that I've met from anyone. Just being around him gives you so much joy and just how life should be lived with like happiness and just living life and loud. So I love it. So thank you so much for being here with us because that's exactly what he does in social media. He expresses himself. He expresses what he does as a coach, what he does in his life, and that's what we have to do as coaches. So Jake tonight is going to speak to us about the difference between the different platforms. Bye, Papi. The different platforms on social media, for example, Facebook and Instagram. And he is great at all of this. So, and also he's going to talk a little bit about like where he gets his people in terms of, challengers and all that great stuff. So, Jake, the floor is yours.
Hey, well, first off, I want to say thank you for the introduction, Gabby, and thank you guys for having me in this call. I'm going to try my best to share as much of my tips and advice. Hopefully, it can help. Um, like Abby said, I've been a coach since January 2014, so almost a year and a half now. And I could tell you, you could first off, let me give you my Instagram. That way you can look at it either now or later. It's Jake. I just changed my Instagram name. It's Jake Luis Hernandez, just my full name. So if for future reference, you can go and look at it and get some ideas or whatever. But what I wanted to say was that my social media is not something that I always, it didn't come naturally to me. Like I always used to use Instagram and Facebook, but it's very different the way I use it now as when I started as a coach. When we become Beachbody coaches or we get into network marketing, because that's what we're part of network marketing business, you think that like you need to just vomit product. You need to just always talk about, Beachbody, 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 advertise like every workout program, the picture of the Shakeology bag or the DVD for 21 Day Fix, like that. We all do it as new coaches. That's something that is just, we don't know any better, and that's what we start doing. So if you go back all the way to when I started as a coach, you will see that that is how my page used to look. And I've kept that there because I like for people to see how it's something that takes time to work on, growing your social media account. And it's really hard. But over time, you develop and you learn more. And that's the beauty of it. Now, for me, I love to see my Instagram specifically, and I look at it and it looks like a magazine. Shailene Johnson always talks about this. She always says the magazine, like you should go through it and feel like something that you enjoy yourself, because the people who are going to be following you, they're following you because they also enjoy what you're posting. Um, so the purpose of this call specifically is to kind of talk over the difference between how I use Facebook and versus Instagram. How comparing and contrast how I use both. So this is going to vary for everyone, because everyone has a different audience who's they're attracting. And in social media, there's so many different things aside from Facebook and Instagram, and every age group is using different things. So some some of the people, some of your audience might not be so much on Instagram and might be strictly on Facebook. I know my specific generation, my population, my audience, they're not really on Facebook. They're mostly on Instagram now, Snapchat, which is another thing, um, and what else? Twitter and stuff like that. So you don't have to have all the social media things out there, but you need to find one or two that you can use that you feel that your audience is in. So for me, where I mostly get my clients and my challengers is through Instagram. Facebook for me is mostly used to run my challenge groups, the team pages. New, like I love Facebook because people always share like news, um, things that are going on in the world. You can find recipes there. Um, it's really easy to share videos and articles, stuff like that, or pictures or whatever. And as well as like talking via chat to my clients, to my future challengers, my prospects, or whatever. So when I first started Beachbody, I was using both a lot, and now I just mostly use Instagram for my clients because when we're on new coaches, you have a lot of your warm market. So warm market is people who are your friends, your family, your coworkers, whatever, mutual friends, and for the most part, they're probably on Facebook. So once I started like going through that list of people and whatever, once I ran out of that, I was like, okay, now what? Shoot, like I gotta freaking find people that I don't know to help. And now that's how I started growing my Instagram more, and I started reaching out to people on Instagram. What I do is that, so for example, what I'll do is if someone likes my picture and I've never messaged them before or whatever, I'll write their name down on a list. Every single person who likes my pictures. If I haven't messaged them or I haven't messaged them in a while, they're a new follower, whatever, I send them a message. On Instagram, you can do something, it's called direct message. So what I'll do is that I'll send a little picture of that I created or whatever, and I said, thanks for the follow or thanks for the like. And I'll just send them a message like, hey, thank you so much for following me. I really, really appreciate it. I hope you enjoy my page. I don't know if you know this already, but I'm a health and fitness coach, and I'm constantly looking for more people to help. If you would be interested in, reaching any fitness goals, or anyone who would be, let's get in touch, or let me know or whatever. And then for the most part, when I do that, people usually respond. But if I like send them a picture of, a product, or if I put a call to action, not that many people really comment below like, yes, I want to join your challenge group starting on this date. You may feel that way sometimes, like, oh my God, like I did this amazing call to action and nobody is coming. Call to action is a post that says, I'm starting a challenge group on such and such date. Would you like to comment below if you want to join me, if you want to lose 20 pounds, blah, blah, blah. So for the most part, I don't even think, maybe like a few times people have said, I'm interested, but for the most part, that doesn't happen. And we often think like, oh, everyone's going to jump on this. It does not happen. You have to go out of your way to message those people who like your picture, whether it's on Instagram, whether it's on Facebook. So you don't necessarily have to send them the same message you posted, but talk to them, engage in a conversation. It takes more time, but to be honest, it's worth it in the long run because you're building relationships. And that's what we're here to do, is to build relationships. And if they may, ignore you now or say no, they're going to keep following you and really see that you're the real deal. So that's what I just wanted to say about, how I use Instagram to like message people specifically to get prospects from. But in order to, this is already when you have your flow. So if you don't have an Instagram that's running right now, or you don't know what to do with it, or with any social media platform, you need to really, I'm going to give you guys a few tips, and I hope you guys taking notes or whatever, but you need to be consistent. You need to post at least 3 times a day minimum. But what you're posting has to be quality over quantity. Like if you're posting 3 times a day and it's like not something valuable, then it's not really worth it. But if you're posting one thing a day that's a really good post and it's quality, and you're sharing your journey, you're sharing about yourself, you're providing something that's not only showing a challenge or a struggle or something you've overcome, that all relates to your why and your story. Every single post that you post has to relate to that, because you're in a journey, and you're always going to be on a journey, and everything kind of has to tie back to it. So for me, my post specifically relate to, school, being a commuter, living at home with my parents, being broke half the time, um hanging out with friends and stuff like that. And my fitness journey specifically has been never to lose weight, but to feel more confident in myself. So every post that I post, always ties back to that. Um, like I always share stuff like, when I was younger, I used to get made fun of, and I always felt like I lacked confidence going to the gym because I didn't know what the hell I was doing. But then because of Beachbody, because I learned how to use weights the proper way, I learned how to follow programs. Now I feel confident when I walk into that gym and I see all these brolic men like, whatever, they don't know what they're doing. I know what I'm doing. And I shared that. And that is something that so many people relate to. Because how many people don't you know that go to the gym and feel like they don't get a good workout because they don't know what they're doing? You know? I'm sure you felt that way at some point. And you get intimidated, you get shy, you feel like, oh my God, people are watching me. That's why we like to work out at home, because nobody's watching us, right? um, so that is something that I shared, and I had to learn how to just be so transparent. And it's hard. But once we overcome that boundary, people are going to start relating to you a lot more. And they're going to, I've gotten messages like, oh my God, like that story that you shared. Or I'll see people in the street and they'll be like, oh my God, when you posted that, it helped me with XYZ. And it helps me feel good because I am also growing by sharing those things that are hard to admit. But those are things that people can relate to. And sometimes we keep them hidden. So when you're posting on social media, always share. Share something about you that's hard to often admit, because that's what's going to make you you, and it's going to make you unique, as well as someone who's relatable. Um, so quality over quantity, right? And a theme. Have somewhat of a theme of 3 to 5 things that identify with you. So if you're a mom, if you are a full-time worker, as well as growing this business, if you are a student, or whatever you are, those posts that you're posting throughout the day should signify your brand. And in your bio, wherever you have your profile, on Instagram and Facebook, it's very different. But for example, on Instagram, I don't think we should put in our bio that we are Beachbody coaches, because that's not all that we are. We're much more than that. And that's something that I struggle with a lot, is like, once I became a coach, I thought, okay, I'm only a coach. Like, no, we have so much. Before you were a coach, what were the things that you used to love? What were the things that you used to do? And, when you get into this business, you kind of forget about those things. But those are the things that are going to make you relatable to so many people. So those are the things that you have to focus on. So try to not put that you are a Beachbody coach. Make it change the wording of it, like health and fitness coach or nutrition expert or challenge group expert. You know, things that people are like, oh, what is that? You know, Beachbody coach, they're gonna think you're just somebody else trying to sell them something, right? Because they have their own ideas of what Beachbody coach is. They're not thinking like we are. Us, like, kind of another thing with your social media is having somewhat of a, when I say theme, but in terms of like how it looks. So a color scheme, your fonts, your photo edits, they should be consistent. So that way when people are scrolling, it's easy for them to kind of engage. Think about things when you're looking at stuff, anything, and what it makes it visually appealing to you. Maybe the color, the style. So in terms of this, it would be like the filters, the font, the size, the color. So some of the apps that I use that I'm going to share with you guys, and I'll say them slowly because I love these apps. These are the apps that I use consistently. The one that I use for font, and you can also use it for other things, is called Studio. So like Studio, Studio. For filters, and I freaking love this app. There's so many filters. It's called Afterlight. Light. So it's one word. I use it for filters and editing my pictures. So I've kept one filter. I found one that I liked and I kept it. So any picture that I post, I use that filter because when I put it next to another picture, it'll blend. Pick frame is one that I use. I'm sure you guys have heard about it. It's like you can use it for resizing the pictures or for doing like more than one picture. Pick play post is one that I use for my videos. I love this app because you can do so much with it. You can not only use it for videos, but you can put videos with pictures. You can put music in the video. You could put sound. You can like, there's this cool thing. I mean, this is getting advanced, but you could like put a video in the middle, and then in the two other sections of the pictures, you put the same video and then you blur them, so it looks pretty cool. But that's like getting complicated. So yeah, those are some cool apps that I use, and you can use those for any social media like Facebook or Instagram. What else? I have some notes. That's why I'm trying to be a little organized. I'm a sapphire, which means I'm all over the place. But I'm trying to be more of an emerald because I know Gabby's an emerald and she'll kill me if
You're doing wonderful. You're like on point. I'm like,
Good.
something's changed.
So one thing that when I used to post before, I just used to post. I never really thought about. It's a thought process when you're posting. You know, think about what makes this post unique. How is this post? Who am I speaking to when I'm doing this post? You know, is this speaking to my audience? Sometimes I'm so tempted to post something on Instagram and I'm like, wait, no, hold up. I can't post this right now. Not because, you know, it's inappropriate or anything, but it might not really do much for who's following me, you know, like if I'm not posting it with something, like if I'm posting a selfie, if I'm just posting a selfie and like, oh, I feel cute today, or no, not I feel cute because that's good. But like if I just post a selfie but no words, you know, if I'm posting like, oh my God, like I love how today this person made me smile, or I feel so much more better about myself because I got my workout in or whatever. That's tying into not only you're doing because of your fitness journey, you feel great. Because you're a coach, you feel great. Because, you know, all those things are tying back to what you do, but they're not putting it so out there, like saying it, you know. And people do follow you. They watch. They may not like your pictures, but they freaking watch. And I get people all the time that always like comment telling me stuff, family members, but they never like my stuff. So they watch. So think about that when you're posting. And like I said before, telling a story, always telling a story. You know, little. I think in Summit, in the Coach Summit at Nashville, they said, I forgot what workshop it was or where I heard it, but they were saying, you know, think about when you're posting, you're sharing breadcrumbs, right? Like breadcrumbs, little breadcrumbs every day of your story. There's things every day that I'm like, wow, like this goes back to when I was younger, you know, and through personal development, I find, um, sorry, I got a call. Screwed me up when I was younger that now is coming back. And those are things that I share. It's not always easy because sometimes people are like, why you share so much? And I'm like, because you never know who can relate to what I'm going through or what I went through and who I can help. And that's what we're here to do. We're here to inspire and motivate other people and through our journeys, right? Um, so it's hard to share, and you don't have to go and share your whole life story in one post, but you should throw little breadcrumbs. Um, Another thing with Instagram that has helped me, a few other things, is using hashtags. So with hashtags, what you want to do is in the picture post itself, use a few hashtags that are, you know, kind of unique, that don't maybe have like hashtag mom. That's fine. You can use that. But maybe if you put like hashtag, if a lot of you are Latinas, hashtag Latina mom. That relates more to specifically maybe your target audience rather than just mom. So in your initial post, you want to use a few hashtags, maybe like 2 or 3. Maybe some ones that you create yourself. And then after you do that post, you want to maybe add some more hashtags. You can leave a comment under your picture with up to 30 hashtags, I think it is. And what these hashtags do and why they're important is that if people go on, let's say, hashtag, one of the ones that you use, like hashtag mom of 2. If you go on that hashtag, your picture, if it's not a hashtag that 100,000 people using, your picture will come up there. So people actually sit there and go through hashtags and look at those pictures. So that's how you get more followers and you get more people seeing your pictures because of those hashtags. There's another app that I use to gain followers and also copy followers and delete and unfollow people. It's called Just Unfollow. That's an app on your iPhone or your Android, whatever. You can go there and you could unfollow people who are not following you back. You can copy other people's followers. So if you find a good page that you like and you think that they relate to you, you might want to go and follow all those people who they're following or who are following them. Because most likely, if you have something in common with that follower, you may probably relate to those other people as well. So that's a good way to gain your follow list. Lastly, for Instagram, I know I'm talking a lot about Instagram, but I'll get back to Facebook. There's a website called Instagress.com, and I can share a video with Gabby, and maybe she'll share with you guys. If you guys haven't used this before, I've made a video on how to use it, so I'm not going to go into so much detail about it. So it's on YouTube. I can share it with Gabby, and she can share it. What that website does is that it kind of does all the work for you in terms of liking people's stuff and commenting and following people for you. It's pretty cool. You get 3 days for free, and then after that you can pay $10 for the month, however you want to do it. But I'll share the video and Gabby will share with you guys, and you guys can watch how to use it. It's pretty awesome. So to get back to Facebook, I've been using Facebook. What I kind of do is whatever I post on my Instagram, I'll post it on my Facebook page. And I mean, sometimes I'll get comments, but for the most part, what I don't really like about Facebook now is that it's tricky because for the most part, people who are seeing my stuff is all the Beachbody coaches in our team. So me posting on Facebook isn't really doing much because the people seeing my stuff are already doing something Beachbody related or whatever. So that for me isn't really working, but I still post there consistently. And if you guys have a Facebook like page, that's also great. I don't use it anymore because for me, I wasn't doing anything and my audience isn't there. But for you, it might be a great way to grow your social media. And it's kind of like a private page, kind of like a website in a way that Facebook has. And you can do advertisements. You can pay for advertisements. And I mean, it's kind of complicated, but it's another thing that you can use. I think that's all I have. So I'm here to answer questions.
I want to share your page, actually. I looked you up to share. So let me share my screen real quick.
Okay, I'm on my laptop, on my phone, so I can't share, but that's cool.
Right here. Look how wonderful it looks. I'm saying, can you work on mine? I like that picture.
Thanks.
See, you got a video up in here. Some
So
food.
what's cool is what's awesome is like if you guys have a blank wall, if you guys have a blank wall somewhere in your house, take advantage of it. Like that where I post like my picture, a lot of my pictures are those blank walls. Like my food, I'll come by the wall and just take a picture there because it focuses on what I'm trying to post. You know, if you have a lot of noise in the background, it's hard to really focus on your attention of what you're trying to portray in the picture. So you always want to make sure that the background, everything else is not taking away from what you're trying to focus on. And Elena, I love photography, so I guess maybe that's why. Is there a video training?
Looks great.
A video training, what? I'm sorry, I didn't see that. She said video training.
So that's what his page looks like. I think it looks wonderful.
Thank you.
Jake, you mentioned something about Shalene and like how she said to make it look like a magazine. Is that a video training or something like that? Like, where'd you get that from?
I know that there's a video on YouTube. I can try to find it after that she did like one of her seminars where she focuses it was like an Instagram training.
There's one, and I'm sorry to interrupt, but Wendy actually posted a website, a link to register for a training that she's doing on Instagram, Mari. She put it in the chat, so she'll probably mention it there, right, Jake?
Yeah. But this one was cool because it was like a video of her conference and she did the training there and you can get her tips and how she grew her Instagram and her tips on Instagram. It's like an hour and a half, but I sat through it once and it was helpful. But I've also listened to that, like the magazine stuff through her podcast, the How to Build My Tribe. That's also where I heard it. She always constantly repeats that. But if you haven't followed her Build Your Tribe, that's a great podcast to listen to because she talks a lot about social media and building it. If you go back to the older ones, probably you'll find stuff like that. I'll try to find that video though.
Thank you.
Jay, what was the name of that website that you mentioned that you paid for?
Instagress.com.
Instapress?
Instagress, like digress. Instagress. Yeah.
Press. Perfect. Thank you.
But like, can we talk about these pictures real quick? Like, how do you take pictures like that? I feel like I suck.
I don't think your pictures are bad.
Like all these angles and stuff, like make it look so nice. Like, look at that Waverly Place, NYU. I would have been like, here's the NYU sign.
Well, I'm a little like I always love photography, so I always used to do photography. So I guess maybe I don't know, it just comes naturally to me. I don't mean to say it like that,
but like this kind of. Is this yours?
No. That on the line.
I was gonna say. Really, boo?
Oh, and also, wait, stop there with the Speedo picture because that one got me so much,
Oh, look,
comments
comments.
because so I was like, wait, hold up. Let me see if I can engage my audience because that's something that I struggle with is engaging my audience in my posts. So I was like, people are probably gonna want to freaking. This is so stupid because really, who cares what speedo I wear? But I was like, which speedo should I wear today? And people literally voted.
People, yeah, people, they be minding their own business. The weirdest things, right?
Seriously.
Nah, it looks really great. Clean, you know, it just, there's no, ooh, look at that. She made it to your post. I better find a picture of me in here.
That's because I'm big.
You know what? He's about to get cut, though. Oh, yeah, I'm right there in the back. No, it looks great. I like
Thank you.
Okay, so any quick questions for Jake?
Yeah, guys.
I have a question.
Yes. Wait, I'm
So I am only on Facebook, and like I have my own Instagram. I haven't like bridged the whole coaching fitness thing to it. It's just been my personal one. So what tips would you have to like close that gap? Because I mean, I'm just nervous about social media to begin with. It took me like 3 months to post on Facebook, so I don't see this progressing anytime soon. But like, do you have any tips on how to start? Because I don't want to like overwhelm people.
Well, I think that if how are you posting on Facebook like about your fitness journey at all or no?
No, I am. I'm pretty good on Facebook.
So what scares you about Instagram versus Facebook? Is more of your audience on Instagram?
I think so, and that's why I need to get on it.
Well, I think that like if you're thinking that way, then you want to not post how you're thinking. So, you know, it's hard because I've had some of my coaches. One of mine, you know, she's young like you. She freaking like was terrified. She's like, oh my God, people are going to judge me. They're going to hate. I always used to say that I would never be posting on social media. And I'm like, okay, well then, do you want to grow this business or not? Because this is something you got to do. And you got to get over that. You know, think about what you're offering. And if, you know how many people probably talk shit that I post so much? Like, okay, and what? Am I posting something bad? No, I'm posting something valuable. So when you're posting, if it's you know valuable, then what does it matter? You know, it's just a fear that you need to overcome. Like I don't think there's a tip except for that. You just gotta do it because at the end of the day, are they gonna grow the business for you? No. Are they gonna pay your bills? No.
Another thing that I have to add to that, Rosa, is what Jake was saying. On top of the fact that a lot of your followers may be there, the people that you know that you can connect with, that may not be, you might not find them on Facebook. So you're losing out on those connections, number one. And number two, when you run out of your warm market on Facebook, if you haven't started working on Instagram, you're going to be screwed because now you got to start then, and it's going to take some time to build some followers. So as you still have your warm market now and you're still connecting with them, you can slowly start working on Instagram so that you can start, you know, working on a following. So this way, when you run out of your warm market, you're set because now you can start connecting with the co-market or, you know, have that overlap.
What I love about Instagram is now it's kind of weird because at first, like my entire audience is on Instagram. Like my age, people I know. But now Instagram is something for me, like I enjoy it more now because most of the people who follow me, I don't even know. And I made so many friends who are, or not even, I don't call them friends, but people I've met on Instagram that have become my challengers that are so much cooler than my friends. You know, like, and I relate to them so much more. And who would say that they came from Instagram, you know? There's a lot of cool people out there that are like us, and through Facebook, you're not really gonna meet them. You know, that's what I love about Instagram. So
I wanted to add in too, Rosa. The way I think about it is, first of all, I like to write and express myself, and I know that's something that you enjoy doing as well. And I'm actually trying to transition my, I mean, it probably already is, but like I never really labeled it that, into like using my Instagram as a micro blog, because I always wanted to blog, but I don't have time to run a whole blog. There's no time for that. But a micro blog is really cool. And the reason I thought about that is because, I get to do what I enjoy doing, right? Like Jake likes to take pictures and he's artsy and creative and he gets to use that talent and put it out there. But I think like there's so much crap on social media, like people drinking, getting drunk, doing ratchet things. And it makes me sick. Like I used to follow those. It's true. Like there's this Instagram called Ratchet TV. Have you it's so ridiculous. And like I used to follow stuff like that. And it's just so much, it's like, okay, well, I want to put my 2 cents out into the world out there and put positive vibes and good things out there. And I feel like that's my way to do it. And maybe, people who want to follow that and have that kind of life and vibe in their life, they can follow me. So it's exactly what Jake was saying. Like, what value, what are you putting out there? And that's what I think about. Like, I'm going to put out valuable, like, happy content that's helpful, because there's so much trash out there. You know what I mean?
I agree. I think also, you said that you're concerned that you're gonna overwhelm. I can't even, what the heck? That you're gonna overwhelm your audience, right? But at the end of the day, you know what? If they feel that way, if they feel like, ugh, you know what? There's an unfollow button. Don't follow me, boo. Bye. Seriously, it's funny because Jorge was looking at this like the what is it? The more popular stuff on Instagram. I don't even know how those stuff come up.
Yeah.
And he happened to hit a page of people of some girl that was all she posts about is her feet, right? Like pictures of her feet, videos of her feet, like really crazy. And people actually watch this thing. Like I was like, let me see that. Literally like 300-400 likes, comment. I'm like, who, like people who have, foot fetish, whatever they're called. So, there's always people that are going to like what you have to say, what you have to share. So, don't be scared to do it, because people are doing some crazy stuff and there's a lot of followers to everybody. So
yeah,
I just wanted to add that.
This is not for your friends. Like, this is like, think about it like you giving back out there into the world, right? Like, what do you, like, if there's something that you want to do and inspire someone, like, how do you do that? Social media is like the best platform to do it. And it's true, like, my colleagues, he's a little ratchet, but he always tells me, he's like, girl, you be writing blogs and stories. And I said, you could unfollow me if you don't like it, boo, because I'm going to still write it on my Instagram. And I know he's joking around, but I really feel like that. Like, if you rather, like, follow feet or, like, all these, like other, I don't want to say ridiculous, like, all these other things out there, then by all means, right? Because, like, look at what Jake said. He's attracting a certain kind of group, and that's what you want. That's what you want to surround yourself with. So if anything, they're doing you a favor by unfollowing. Bye. I got time for that.
Yo, this felt like therapy. Thank you. I got to post tomorrow just for a thank you to you guys. I'm going to do it. I'm going to post.
Why don't you could even talk about how you felt. Like, I would even share that. Like, sometimes I, for a while, been wanting to, share more here because I feel like I have so much to offer. But, you don't have to say the hater is going to hate. But, you turn it into a story. Like, it's something that you're overcoming.
Shit, I'm about to write that and be like, if you want to keep following Ratchet TV, by all means. But I have something nice to say and contribute to the world. Bye.
And then post that link to the feet.
How many followers does she have?
A lot, too many. I was like, this is crazy. She had like 400 for like crazy stuff, like moving her feet, like putting from her chancla to her shoe. I was like, who watches this stuff? Like, this is
So you think she hesitated to post that? She was all about it, I'm sure.
Probably like people are weird, but I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna continue to post about it. Whatever. To each its own, and that's what this is about. We attract the people that we want to help, and the people who need help, and the people who are ready to be helped, and that's what you should be worried about. So, but anyway, any other questions for Jake before he has to run?
Jake, really quick, how did you build your Instagram following? Because you have over 7,000 followers, and that's what I'm really focusing on right now for my Instagram page. So, any thoughts?
Well, I think what boomed for me was when I started using the Instagress. And Instagress, what it does is basically, without going into so much detail, you can set up a list of hashtags that are related to you, because obviously you're going to use hashtags to relate to people, like to things that you like, right? So what it did is that it went and liked people's stuff and followed people who were using those same hashtags. So for example, like I say, I put a lot, like I realized that once I started using Instagram, I was getting a lot of followers once I would go on their page that were like nursing students like me, that had graduated college recently, that love to travel, and those were things that related to me. So that's how my Instagram really, really grew, because of that app. Like, it was insane. Like, not the app, but the website, instagress.com. It was insane how fast it was growing. And then it's just also being consistent with the hashtags, with everything. And I used to do, with just unfollow with the app, you can add up to 150 new followers an hour. There was a point that I was doing that. Like, every hour I would get an alert, timer's up. I would go and add 150 more people. And then I would do that, and then that's how I grew it. Obviously, not all 7,000 of those people are good followers, but I mean, that's something I'm not going to sit there and go and look at every single person. That's so time consuming. I'm just do it hoping that I'll get some followers that are good. But
Yeah.
that's a good thing to do. And eventually you want to switch that. So you want to unfollow people who are not following you back, because then it'll look like you're following more people than are following you. And that doesn't look good, because then you just look like someone adding people.
And also what I do is that app that Jake is talking about, unfollow. Like, once you follow people, I do it like throughout the week, and then on the weekend I unfollow everyone who's not following me, one. And then also when you go through your feed, like quickly, you don't have to stay there. But if you see some crazy stuff, you're like,
yeah.
I'll be like, no, delete. So you can do that very quickly.
Absolutely.
That your feed is like all this craziness. Like, no, sorry, bye.
Yep.
And are there any favorite hashtags that you use to get like more eyeballs on your posts?
It's no. It's just whatever the picture relates to, I'll post. Or I don't know, like, there hasn't been a specific hashtag, because every hashtag relates to the picture. It's not really like, I use one hashtag for everything, But when something that you guys could start doing, which is cool, create your own hashtag. So let's say Gabby wants to put Team Advent's results or something. So every time she posts a transformation picture of someone from Team Advent, she can use that hashtag in the picture, so that way when later on those posts accumulate from all those transformations, someone could go and look at Team Advent's transformation, that hashtag, and see all the pictures that have ever been posted with the hashtag there. And then they'll be like, oh shit, like, she knows what she's doing. Like, look at who she's helped, right? So I did that at one point with like, I don't remember what hashtag. I think it was like Jake Travels or something. So when I was traveling, I used that hashtag. Okay, we'll use Team Advent. That's awesome. Yeah. So yeah, so when I was traveling, I used Jake Travels. So then people can see like my traveling pictures all in one thing, one section, right? Something like that.
Great. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Any other questions?
Yeah, I had a question. I don't know if you asked it already, Jake, but or if you answered it already. Do you have an open profile, or do you recommend leaving your profile open?
I think would you Instagram?
Yeah, I'm on Instagram.
Yeah, I have it public, and that's just because I mean I feel like that way anybody can go and see my page. Because how are they gonna really know what I'm doing, what I'm a part of, if they can't just go look at the pictures and decide they want to follow me from that?
Mm-hmm.
Because then if I'm private, then they're just gonna base me off of my little bio, because that's all they can really base me off. If they see my pictures, they can go through and then decide if they want to follow me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank
Awesome. All right. So if no one else has any questions, we are going to let Jake go. Everyone else is good? Yes. Thank you, Jake, so much for spending your Sunday evening with us. I know that you have homework and assignments to do for nursing school, but thank you so much for sharing all your knowledge. It was wonderful, and it was wonderful to have you here with us. So
Thank you, guys.
All right. Have a great night, everyone. Hope everything was helpful.
Have a good
If you
night.
guys have any questions, you can reach out to me. You know, you can message me. So
Listen, send me those videos so I can share with the team.
okay, I
Yes,
will.
please.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye.